to 25 minutes past 8. Have a listen to this. You'll have heard this before, but have a listen to the moment when Stuart Davis interrupted the Prime Minister. This was on Friday in Wales.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And
why don't you resign? The National Convention want you. We don't want you.
And that is Stuart Davies, not Stuart Davis, former independent county councillor, previously member of the Conservative Party, heckling the Prime Minister when she addressed the Welsh Tory conference in Llangollen. And I believe, Mr Davies, that you used to be mayor of the same, didn't you?
I did indeed, yes.
Well, a very good morning to you. You've become much more well-known over the last few days. What have people said to you? Have they supported you?
99.9% support. Look on Twitter, look on YouTube, where all the press agencies put their copies of that video you just played, and thousands and thousands of views. Not one, or maybe one, I think I saw against me. The rest is, as that lady says, get rid of her.
So nobody's
nobody's giving me a hard time. Except the Conservative Party in Wales. I was supposed to be going to a dinner last night to meet Boris, who I was his press officer back in '97, and they withdrew my invitation. Thank you very much. Anyway,
that's when he stood for Clwyd West, wasn't it?
Clwyd South.
Clwyd South, right?
Yeah, I was press officer. Stood for Clwyd South in '97. It was his first bash at being an MP.
Would you be his press officer again?
Bloody right, I would.
Watch your language to it.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. That's okay. It's good.
Yeah. No, in a flash, yes. Best man for the job.
Really? Do you think so? And he's not told any lies or led anybody up the garden path. I mean, nothing like that. Even when he got fired.
Boris is Boris. I tell you what, I met him yesterday. They thought they'd stop me meeting him, but I met him in Clwyd West to do in the afternoon. And do you know what? There was a wedding party on at the hotel, and it was epitomising Boris. He came out, and there was the bride and the groom, and they were just normal people. Boris, 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 Boris. And that's what Boris got. He's got that star quality. No matter what Boris does, he's got that star quality. And if he was Prime Minister, the Conservatives would walk the next election because the people in the street like him. Never mind the metropolitan.
Yes, but so there, one or two blunders as Foreign Secretary over Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe and what he said there. Is it, these clumsy words? It's all very well being, a bit of a buffoon even in the London Mayor's office. It's quite another to be Foreign Secretary or Prime Minister. You think he has the stature to carry that off?
If we want to talk about being the London Mayor, he beat two left-wing opponents in a left-wing city. And he did it, and he ran the city properly. He produced the best Olympics we've ever seen, that sort of thing. So no matter what, Boris is Boris, but he appeals to the great British public, and that's the important thing. We need a leader who can appeal to the public, not to just one part of society, but to all parts of society. And he appeals to the public. And that example I gave you is a very, very good example of Boris. Do you know what? I spent a lot of time in Portugal and Spain. I've got a boat out there.
How nice.
And yes, and wherever I go, if somebody talks to me about policy, I say, well, I used to be Boris's press officer. I don't even have to say a second name. They know who Boris is, and that's what Boris has got. There's only one other person in our political life in my lifetime, that people know, Maggie and Boris. And Boris has got the same as Maggie. He's got that star quality. He can lead us as the Conservatives too. I mean, we're talking about. I really believe we're talking about, and I don't know whether I can say this word, existential circumstances for the Conservative Party. The way she is leading us now, and that's one of the reasons I stood up and did what I did, is if something isn't done, and I mean within the next week or two, the Conservative Party can wave goodbye.
So when should Theresa May go now? The 1922 committee. I mean, they apparently sending Graham Brady will go and have a word on Tuesday once again. I mean, should this be immediate in your view? Give us a view from Llangollen. Just tell us.
As our lady said, I mean, she put it very clearly. When presented with choices, May has got this inbuilt ability to pick the wrong choice.
When did you start hating her like this? Or NS hate's too strong?
Hang on a minute, Andrew. I've been a member for, 50-odd years, and I've never, ever felt this way. And people I was talking to in that conference older people, I'm 71, talking to older people, I mean, they said they are so furious as to what
right.
Anne Applebaum, worst
Anne
Prime
Applebaum.
Minister in living memory. She doesn't seem to be entirely sane, presiding over a crisis of her own making. And that's international press talking about our
Well,
Prime Minister.
I can tell you're still proud enough of the nation. You don't want us to be broadcast, and I've been talking about the projection of her authority already this hour. It's completely gone. I understand that. But when did you decide to have a go at her like that? Did you know, being a man who has used the press in the past and manipulated, did you plan to get up and say that, or was that just?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I realised, okay, as I say, I am furious. People like me are furious. We've given our all to this party, to stuff in leaflets, clear it out. We'll never win this as long as we've got a, etc., 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 because it's a safe seat. But we turn out, we stuff leaflets, we do things, and all of a sudden we feel that furious. We feel that the inability to do something about it. Watching our party going down the tubes, and she doesn't get it. And okay, going back to your question, I realised she was coming. I thought I'd already applied for a ticket anyway, and I thought, good. I thought to myself last week, I am going to do something. Now you can imagine, I had butterflies in my tummy and all the rest of it, but I thought, no, somebody has got to stand up and do something about this, because our MPs aren't doing it, or the inability to do it. Somebody's got to stand up. And one of the BBC reporters I was talking to said, do you know what? You just might be the tipping point.
Well, we'll see about that. Stuart Davies, a former independent county councillor, former mayor actually of Llangollen, who told Theresa May, or asked her why she hasn't gone yet, just the other day at the Welsh Tory conference. 8:31 is the time. We'll talk